Why?
Could be anything.
Now that's a good question. Why Mishloach Manos has to be food? What would be food? The idea of food is let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it really is. I'm making a simcha, right? And who do I invite? I invite the people that are dear to me, and the people that I can't avoid. but I invite the people that are precious to me, right? So I'm making a simcha. You're not going to be in my simcha. So I feel close to you. I want to share with you, right? Sending something that's ready to eat. From the Rambam, there's a mashmalos. It's like you're sharing the suda with somebody else. Not like giving money. Like giving money is like giving charity. Oh, here you pay the rent. I'm sharing my simcha with you. That's the idea of sending manas. You're dear to me. I want you to be mishtata for my simcha. Right? That's why it's dafka something which is edible. But it comes out matanas lav yainim and mishloach manas are different things. Matanas lav yainim is addressing a need, right? Mishloach manas is the Torah. Is the preciousness. Right? You're dear to me. You're precious to me. So Tzadok goes on to explain that in this enlightenment and Torah that we receive in Purim, there are two aspects. When God gives us Torah, right? There's one aspect of it is that we need Torah, right? The other aspect is the covet of it, the distinction that HaKadosh Baruch Hu respects us and values us so much that He shares with us the Torah. I've said before in the past, I'm very fond of saying over a vertel that I heard from Simcha Wasser, but I think it mamash is very appropriate for this. He said that when a person is called to the Torah, so before you lane, the bracha you say is Asher Blach Arbanu Mikol Amim V'Nos Lanos Terasa. After you lane, it's Asher Nosan Lano Teras Emes V'Chayav Notab Zerchainu. So the question is, how do you remember which is which, and why are they different? So we give a mashal. He says, imagine a person gives you a present. And it's wrapped in a beautiful box with paper and a ribbon, a bow. It's a beautiful gift. And he gives you the present, so you certainly thank him. Thank you so much for the lovely present. You know what's inside? No idea. But you thank him. He gave you a present. You take it home, you open the present, and you see it's an exquisite piece of whatever it is you want. Right? So you certainly call the person again. Why would you call him again? You already thanked him the first time. The first time I thanked you for a present. Right? The second time I thank you for the thing itself, what it is. It says, we're approaching the Torah. We haven't yet read the Torah. But we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah. That itself is a distinction. So we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Asher Boch Arbanu Mikol Amim. You chose us from among all the nations. You gave us the Torah. We don't know anything about Torah yet. But the mere fact you chose us from among all nations to give us the Torah, that makes us feel very, very proud and very worthy. And that's worthy of our gratitude. Now we've read the Torah. Now we see what it is. We got to think, Asher Nosan Lano Teras Emes. This is a Torah which is true. It's emes. It's the key to eternal life. You've got to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for that too. See, it's the same thing over here. In this enlightenment that Torah receive on Purim, there's two aspects of it. One aspect is that it addresses a genuine need. We need that Torah. We need that Torah to survive. We need that Torah to address our problems. We need that Torah to understand how to live. Right? It's a need. It's matanas lav yainim. Right? But it's also mishloach manos. It's also such a distinction, such an honor that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us Torah. Right? So this is the shalach manos and the matanas lav yainim of Purim. In other words, it's matanas lav yainim because it is what we need. Just like an Evian needs money, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us what we need. We desperately need that Torah. But it's also such a distinction, such an honor, and that's the idea of mishloach manos. So this Torah is both shalach manos and it's matanas lav yainim. And this is what Purim could potentially be, if we would know how to use it properly. Because we could have an enlightenment. Let me just tell you, just in closing a thought, that I think that one aspect of this enlightenment may be the following. The pasuk says, "Elokim asa sa'adam yashar, v'hema bikshu cheshvonos rabbim." HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a person straight, and they sought many calculations. In other words, deep down there is a clarity, there is a certainty that we are all meant to have. But we've complicated it with layers and layers and layers of calculations and cheshbonos and etc. What will he say? What will she say? How will I pay the bills? Etc., etc., etc. But these are layers of cheshbonos that are superimposed on this little bit of clarity. That we all know what the truth is. We all know what's really important in life, and we unnecessarily complicate it. A person is muchid to become intoxicated on Purim ad lo yada, to the point he doesn't know anything anymore. Meaning to the point that all the cheshbonos, all the calculations become bottled. When a person is shikr, he's not worried about how he's paying the bills this month. He's not worried whether enough credits to graduate. He's not worried about what the neighbor is going to say about him. He's not worried about anything, right? But what is meant to emerge? What is meant to emerge is that pristine bit of clarity that resides deeply within a person's soul. And that is really what the sort of ad lo yada is. And I think that's what Tzaddik is talking about, this shalach manos. If you want to receive that shalach manos on Purim, right, you have to, you want to tap into it. It's very, very, very hard with all the cheshbonos. If you can eliminate the cheshbonos, then you can tap into that shalach manos. I'm reminded also of a very interesting thing. I once said it. The Gemara says that if you see a chacham, so you say a bracha. You say, Asher nathan michachmas lebasar v'dam. You praise God. God gave him his wisdom to flesh and blood. If you see a Talmid Chacham, you say, Shechalak michachmaso lireyav. God shared his chachma, right, with those who fear him. So the question is, why is chachmas Torah called chalak, and why is chachmas of science, chachmas of called nasan? So I want to give a mashal. I was reminded of this, that the Ger Rebbe came to Toronto a number of years ago. And in Ger, the meaning of the Rebbe's is, they give out whole fruit to their Hasidim. There's some Rebbes that give shirayim, portions, but he would give out whole apples. So I remember he was in Beis Yaakov, and we used Beis Yaakov for Shavuos shortly after the Rebbe was here. In the fridge there were bags and bags leftover apples, and they bought tons of apples, and they didn't give them all out, but he gave out apples. So I remember I told a fellow who was a Ger Chassid the following story, and he went to raise some kalim. He said that when in 1980 it was, I was a bacher, and Agudas Yisrael had the last Knesset Gedolah, the last conclave that will ever be of the world Agudah, and all the Gedolim and all the Rabbanim and all the Rosh Yeshiva, everyone, all the Rebbes came to Eretz Yisrael, and I was there at the time. And I heard the following story that my Rosh Yeshiva from Baltimore came, and he went to visit the Ger Rebbe, right? And my Rosh Yeshiva was a real Litvak, real Lithuanian. He was not familiar with the ways of Rebbes. And the Rebbe, we were sitting with the Rebbe, and the Rebbe opened the orange and gave the Rosh Yeshiva half the orange. And the Rosh Yeshiva thanked him, and he ate the orange. And so when they left, so the Rosh Yeshiva's nephew says, the Rosh Yeshiva knows that he took shiyayim from the Rebbe. So he says, "Nay, he shared the orange with me." Anyway, we found out, and he was really upset. But anyway, But the question was, well, what's going on? Because normally the Rebbe would give a whole thing, and here he gave half. So they explained that to regular people, right, you get a whole orange. The Rebbe gives you an orange, gives you an apple. It says, but someone who's chashuv, he shares his orange with you. That's a different level. So everything comes from you going to Shloim, right? If you're a scientist, if you know physics, chemistry, so it's also a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave it to you. It's like a whole fruit. He didn't share with you his fruit. He gave you a fruit. So it says, if a person is a chacham b'chachmas haTorah, that says HaKadosh Baruch Hu shared with you his. That's his wisdom. That's his thing. He gave you a piece of his chachma. That's chalak mechachmas l'yirev. It's not the shalach manas on Purim, right? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, this Iris and Torah, the Mechias Hamalek. We have to know that's half an orange, right? And half an orange is more than a whole orange, right? Some people would say, wait a minute, half an orange is really less. A whole orange is better, right? Some people would say, listen, if you give me, physics, I can win the Nobel Prize, right? You're giving me Torah, what am I going to do with it? Yeah, by that measure, that's why a whole orange is better than half an orange. But when the Rebbe gives you a half orange, it's more than when he gives you a whole orange. He's sharing with you. That's what Divrei Torah is. Because Baruch Hu is sharing with us. It's chalak and the chachmas. These are some ideas. Now, I think that some of these ideas are a little abstract, but if you just can remember them, I think on Purim it'll all make more sense, right? And we'll sink in a lot deeper. So just try to recall them, and then on Purim they'll all come back.
I have a question. When we talked about the two chokmas, one of them is a new idea comes into your head on Purim. So explain to me what the difference in the two.
No. It's like this. He explains it. There are certain things that they come from God. When you get them, this is a gift from Him. This is not something that I thought of myself. Then there are things that are much more subtle that you think they're yours, but they're really not yours at all, because nothing is yours. Everything comes from Him.
Right. So
that's the second one.
So the gift of Purim is both of them.
It's both of those. It's two manas. Shalach manas is two manas.
So it means part of it is your effort to recognize the second.
That's right. If you don't recognize it, then you'll think God only sent me one. Right. What kind of shalach manas is that?
You got a good point.
Only sent me one thing. Okay, everyone. Let's for coming.